Alright, here we are on lesson 6, day 2. Alright, you should be on page 16 of your note packet. I know mine says 18, they're a little off. Right, but we're going to start up with exercise 3, so kind of where we left off today. So, the next part that we're adding on now, if you look at part C here, there's a little bit of the distributive property that we need to do first. Okay, so in our first step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this mixed number and I'm going to distribute. So this 6 1/3 would become a negative 19 thirds, and now we're distributing this negative 1/2. So negative 1/2 times positive 1/2 would be minus 1/4, and then we'd have minus 1/2 y. Okay, so now if we look here, we have two fractions that we need to combine. Then this negative 1/2 y is just going to kind of hang out because it has nothing to combine with. So we need to get a common denominator here, which will be 12. So we're going to multiply by 4 for the first one, then multiply by 3 for the second one. So that means we would get 19 times 4. Let's see, 19 times 4 gives us 9 times 4 is 36. 4 and then so 7. So this would be negative 76 over 12 minus 3 over 12, and then still have the minus 1/2 y. Alright, so if we look at just the fractions, we have negative 76 minus another 3, so we would end up with negative 79 twelfths, and then still have the minus 1/2 y. We can't combine anymore, so this is our final expression. Alright, same thing in part D here. So first we need to distribute, I'll do this one in a different column. We need to distribute the 1/3. So we bring down the 2/3, then we have plus 1/3 times 1/4, give us 1/12 f minus, alright, I'm going to get rid of this mixed number first. This would be 4/3. Alright, so if we do 1/3 times 4/3, we would get 4/9. Okay, so again, we have just the fractions to combine. So we're going to just have to get a common denominator on the 1, which will be 9. Okay, so I'm going to multiply the first fraction by 3 here. So I'm going to get 6/9 plus 1/12 f minus 4/9. So I'm going to rearrange it a little bit so I can see it easier. So I have 6/9 minus 4/9. I just moved it over so I could see it better. And then plus the 1/12 f at the end because we can't do anything with it. So now we can see 6 minus 4 gives us 2, so we get 2/9, and then just plus the 1/12 f. And that's as much as we can do with that one. Okay, so flip on over to the next page. Right, and these look a little different. Alright, because we have more than one thing on the top and we've got a fraction here. So still the same thing, we still need to get a common denominator. So if we look at 25, 2, and 10, our common denominator is going to be 20. So that means we keep the first one the same. We're going to have to multiply the second one by 4 on the top and bottom to get the 20. The third one we'll have to multiply by 10 on the top and bottom. And then the last one just by 2 on the top and bottom. So I'm going to start rewriting this. So we keep the x over 20, don't change that. Now, plus, I'm going to leave the 4, well, actually for this one we can do. So 4 times 2x would give us 8x over 5 times 4 is 20. Plus, now, I'm going to rewrite this part first. So we have 10 times x plus 1 all over 10 times 2 is 20. Then plus, same thing, we have 2 times 3x minus 1. And then 2 times 10 is 20. Okay, so the first two stay the same. We still have our x over 20 plus our 8x over 20. Now here we need to distribute this 10. So 10 times x gives us 10x, plus 10 times 1 gives us 10, still all over 20, plus 2 times 3x gives us 6x, 2 times negative 1 gives us a negative 2, all over 20. Okay, so because we have this common denominator now, I'm just going to write all of it over 20. They're all over 20, and I'm going to rewrite the top. So we have x plus 8x plus 10x plus 10 plus 6x, and then minus 2, all over 20. So now I just have to combine my like terms. So I'm going to circle my x's in red. So I have x plus 8x plus 10x, and then plus a 6x down here. Alright, so if we look at it, x plus 8x gives us 9x, plus a 10x would give us 19x, plus another 6 would give us a 25x, and then 10 minus 2, because that sign comes with, gives us just plus 8, and this is all over 20. Alright, so now the last step we can do here is we're going to separate them out because they're both over 20, so we can rewrite it as 25x over 20 plus 8 over 20. Right? And then what we need to do is we need to do some simplifying here. So we can divide the first one both by 5, so we would get 5x over 4. Then plus, we're going to simplify here. If we divide by 2, or divide by 4 actually, we would get 2 fifths. This is our final expression. Right? I know that had a lot of parts, and these take a lot of steps to get to. Please just make sure you try to write it neatly. Alright, and we're going to do another one now down below. We're going to skip this next part, and we're going to go to exercise 4. Right, and this is the last one we're going to do in the video. So this is the same idea. We have to first get a common denominator. So if we look at 3, 9, and 6, our common denominator can be 12. So we have to multiply the first one by 4 on the top and on the bottom to get to 12. Or sorry, we're not going to do 12, we're going to do 18. Just kidding. Alright, so for the first one, we're going to multiply by 6 to get to 18. The second one by 2 to get to 18. And then the last one by 3. So now, for the first one, we have 6 times 2h gives us 12h over 18 minus, because there's a minus sign here, 2 times h gives us 2h over 18. And then plus, I'm going to bring this whole thing down, so we'd have 3 times h minus 4 all over 18. So the first two we're just going to leave alone for now. We have 12h over 18 minus 2h over 18 plus now 3. We're going to distribute the 3. So 3 times h is 3h, and then 3 times a negative 4 gives us a minus 12 all over 18. So now I'm going to rewrite it so it's all one fraction. So everything is over 18 now, and we have 12h minus 2h plus 3h, and then the minus 12. So I'm going to circle all the h parts so we can see. So we have a 12h, we have a minus 2h, a plus 3h, and then the minus 12 stays. So if we start combining our like terms, 12h minus 2h gives us 10h's, plus another 3 would be 13h, then still have the minus 12, can't combine it with anything, over 18. And then you always want to separate out. So I'm going to come up top here. So we're going to separate the fractions. So we have 13h over 18 minus 12 over 18. So 13h over 18, we really can't simplify, so that just stays the same. But here we can divide, let's see, we can divide 12 and 18 both by 6. So we divide them both by 6. Then we get 2 over 3. And this is our final expression. Alright, again, a lot of steps, a lot of moving parts, but we got to make sure just to go slowly and take our time so we don't lose anything. Alright, on the back side, I want you guys to try both of these on your own. Both of the exercises on the last page. Try them on your own. I know they're hard, but I want you to try your best, and then we will go over them in class all together.